getting wet. I got extremely wet. It was not fun. Well, it was pretty fun. I like rain, but that's besides the point. That's besides the... I'm not going to do this anymore where the mic is covering like 50% of my face. I'm not going to be doing this anymore, talking like this, staring at the laptop, because that's boring. Who wants to watch a video of somebody staring at a screen all the time? I am going to be dedicating 100%, more like 95% of my staring at you, the guys, the boys, the girls watching too, and anybody that's watching. So, where do I begin? It rained today. It rained, and it thundered, and motivated me. Well, it didn't really motivate me. It's more like a rude awakening. I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. Usually I wake up at 4, but I decided to try and repair my sleep schedule a bit more. I woke up at 6 because the fire alarms that we have in our house, apparently they're not traditional fire alarms where you got to put the batteries in them. They're wired up to the house, so if the power goes out, then they're gonna go out. So the power went out this morning as a result of the rain, and I didn't really notice it at first. I was still asleep, but it was one of those power outages where it's like it comes in and out. The power comes in and out. There is a very annoying phenomenon that occurs when this happens. It's called the fire alarm going off when it turns back on at 6 in the morning. It's very loud, and it wakes you up when you least expect it. So I was happily slumbering, fixing my sleep schedule, and the fire alarm went off. We have 2 fire alarms in our house, at least I think. I do know that one of them is right there in my room, right there up in the corner, and it went off while I was asleep, and I woke up. I was a bit perplexed because I didn't know what was going on, but then I realized the power was going in and out. And that's when I remembered rain is a thing that happens. But the thing about where I live is that it doesn't happen that often. It usually happens every once in like a month or so. But it was raining. So I decided to take a little trip outside my backyard and see the damage that had occurred. There wasn't really any damage, just some things knocked over. About an hour or two later, at around 7, I believe, I decided to take a walk. This was after our power had come back, after the fire alarm had went off several times, and I wanted to take a trip outside because, rain like this only comes around every once a year down here. So I decided to take the opportunity to go outside and test my photography skills, my Instagram photography skills. My first-year photography student portfolio needed to be contributed to. So I went outside and recorded puddles on the ground, and street lights, and cars driving by, and funnel clouds. So I was out there, and it was raining, and an idea popped into my head. A very strange, a very alien idea. As I was walking the dark street, the wet sidewalk, it began to rain again. Because when I had walked outside originally, it was only sprinkling. But while I was walking, it began to heavily rain. A downpour, if you will. And as I was walking home, I was recording, and I turned the camera on myself and said this. This was pointless. I don't know why I did this. Well, at the moment, I was saying that for, the sake of adding to the stereotype that I don't have any objective with these videos. I feel like I did sort of have a purpose going out there, recording all of that. And that was making something. At the point I am right now, the only opportunity I have to make things, edit videos, write things is with these YouTube videos. When I saw the rain outside, it was like I hadn't seen this kind of rain in a while, and I felt like I had to document it. I had to record it, take the opportunity to get some pretty decent looking shots. And when it was all said and done, as I was walking back to my house and the rain was coming down on me, and I was trying to keep my camera as dry as possible, even though it was pretty much already drenched by the rain, I realized that it wasn't just documenting the rain that I wanted to do. It was also writing that I wanted to do. Today I decided to go outside, document some rain, and write a poem. I'm not a big poet. I guess I describe myself as a writer, but I had never exactly described myself as a poet. I've written poetry before. Nothing serious, just stuff that came to me randomly. But this poem that I haven't even written yet, it's just a thought bubble in my head right now that I need to put down before it goes away. This had purpose behind it. This had a reason to be made, and that was the rain. And not just the rain, but everything that's going on right now. For me, I guess I might as well tell you the poem now. It's not much, but it's something that I just felt like I needed to make. And I'm putting a lot of dramatic pauses between my words because that makes it more dramatic. I said I wasn't going to look at the screen anymore, but I did. I'm sorry. But it rained today, and I couldn't help but be drawn to the thought of you, with your eyes so wide and your fears so few. The world's my oyster, if only you knew. You were ready to take on everything, every trouble, cost, and deal. You were going to do it regardless of how everyone would feel. But it was this ambition by which your end would seal. You planned and planned and planned, but when the time came, nothing came through. You panicked and cried, rejected, denied. You said, "Why can't I? Why must I throw life off to the side?" It was this sadness that inevitably turned over the tide. Now you are no more than a figment. Your passion burned so bright, yet left only ember. The life you wanted was one in which you could never be a member. And be honest. Sometimes I forget to remember. It rained today, and I couldn't help but avoid the thought of you. There was lightning and I could have recorded it, but I didn't. My camera was facing down. It's getting really cold out here. Son of a... dang it! Shut up. It's really wet out here. I don't know what I'm doing. I got my camera wet. Just felt like making something. Oh boy. I just realized there's a hurricane going on. I totally forgot about that.